Hello, this is Keith, and I'm with Concierge Tax VIP. And what we're talking about today is our big, beautiful bill and the fact that now your tips are going to be exempt from federal income tax. Your states may not exactly follow suit, so we'll see how that pans out state by state. For people in California, don't expect a big reprieve. Other states may be a bit more generous. Uh, so where to start? Well, who qualifies? You've got wait staff, bartenders, people who are traditionally tipped, other types of people who are traditionally tipped, hairstylists and nail technicians. There are also spa and beauty service workers, if you work in a salon, that sort of thing, or in a support role. Could be nail people who work on your nails and things like that. Those people are traditionally and customarily tipped in addition to whatever the base income is. Now, there are here's some of the other half of this that not everybody's necessarily talking about right now. So there is a limitation on it. There are several limitations, but the biggest one is that your tips will be subject or not subject to federal income tax. So you still have to report them, but they're not subject to federal income tax on up to $25,000 in tip income. What does that mean? So once you make that $25,001, that $1 is going to be subject to federal income tax. For some people, in heavy where tips make up the majority of their compensation, and especially in higher end places, you will end up, if you blow that out, then you will have that federal side. The other aspect is you're still going to have to keep track of your tips through the regular methods you've been using, and states may not all follow suit. So you will have to do, especially places like California, where they need every penny they can get right now. They may not, California, for example, will not necessarily be as generous, but other states may comply with this or conform to it to one degree or another. We'll have to wait and see. Your state may be one of the lucky ones. We'll see how it works out. It phases out for people who earn over a certain amount. For single individuals, it's over $150,000. It phases out. And yes, there are people who receive tips that make over $150,000 a year. So if that's not you, then God willing, right? Um, Also, people who are gig workers who do not traditionally get W-2s where their tips are reported will end up having to they're basically cut out of this. So if you're a gig worker that gets a 1099, for example, you can't use the tips. You can't deduct them, unfortunately. It's only for wage earners. One of the benefits, however, that you can do, especially if you're making a substantial living and tips create are a large portion of that, is that you could arguably put together a S corp or a single member LLC converted to an S corp, for example. You can actually pay yourself as an employee, avoid some self-employment tax, and you'd still be able to take advantage of the tips that you get paid as a deduction from the company. And then you get this. So this is an additional tax planning opportunity for you. If you are self-employed, it might be the time to think about forming an entity instead of just a regular just working as a sole proprietor, where you get a 1099, that's it. It goes on your Schedule C. Let's see. Some of the things to consider. So if some of the so people who are in my profession as an accountant and a tax strategist, um, they're going to be looking for restaurant owners, talking about tip reporting changes, beauty salon chains and compliance requirements, and service workers about maximizing their new tax benefits. So I already gave you one tip about potentially, if you're self-employed, forming an entity in order to potentially leverage both sides of that. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you are welcome to schedule a quick digital coffee with me. I'll put the link in the description below, and hopefully we can explore it together. I'm very curious to see how the forms on the IRS and the W-2s may change. Certainly, there will be something in there, some supporting form on the federal side for tax forms. As far as the W-2 itself, because it already sections out tip income, you'll also be adding in unreported tip income that maybe it didn't go through your employer. If you do that, and those will be things that will be very interesting to see how they work out. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you found this beneficial. All the best.